My name is Carlos Briones, and this is a tour of our neighborhood. This neighborhood here is West Englewood. It's about it's probably about 20 miles south of Chicago, Illinois. And we chose this neighborhood because it's one of the low-income, high-crime rate neighborhoods in all of Chicago. Let's move on to here. As you can see, poverty here is pretty high. About 21% of the families around West Englewood are below the poverty level. As you can see, compared to the whole state, which is only 13%. Now, unemployment, you can see here, it's about 10.2% compared to other cities around the US. It's about 9.1% in America currently. Homelessness, another huge problem here. As you can see here, 93,000 Chicagoans are homeless. Almost some of them are even, about 15,000 of them are students, and 97% of them are children of color. Food insecurity. Now, what food insecurity means is how secure people are to get their food, and it's a state in which they should not feel like they feel like they're always going to be hungry or scared to be hungry. And being insecure about it means that they are always scared. And as you can see from this percentage, Englewood or West Englewood have about 30% of food insecurity. Fairly high number, saying that most of the families or people, and about 30% of the people here feel like they don't know if they're going to be able to eat the next day. Nutrition data, here we go. Health, diabetes, about 8.4%. Cook County is near the area of Chicago, West Englewood. Obesity, still lower here in West Englewood or in Chicago. Not too much of a problem, yet it is still pretty high. It's lower than the state and the rate compared to all of America. Now, going back to this, there are four main causes for poverty. They are falling wages, increased cost of living, reduced government aid, and physical and mental health issues. The living family wage was one of the policies that were being talked about earlier, probably in about the 80s or 60s for Chicago, and one of the mayors was pushing for it, but Congress did not push for it, so they do not have a living family wage anymore, or they never did. Let's see, cost of living, another picture I will show you here. Cost of living in Chicago, the median should be $63,000. As we saw in the past pictures, that there's only about 20% of people in the Chicago area and West Englewood area that fall below under that line. Now, cost of living here. Now, the reduced government aid, you see here, there's not that much the government does to help inside the county, except for that they have the Planned Parenthood, which is for women who want to start a family, or who have a child coming into the way, or if they are giving birth to a child and do not want it, and they have options such as abortion or adoption. You can see out here they have hospitals outside of the neighborhood, so families have to go outside. There is the Salvation Army in this location right here, and there's two more just outside, right here and right here. Actually, another interesting thing is the closest food bank that West Englewood has is over here, and it looks like it's about maybe 5-7 miles down south, so people have to take transportation to get there. Now, physical and mental health issues, there are no places to help people who have drug addictions or alcohol problems. They sort of have to just deal with it by themselves. And one of the problems that can cause physical or mental issues here are the many liquor stores and bars that West Englewood have. See here, there's about actually 7 of them here, actually 8, because there's one over here as well, right there behind the church. And transportation costs are, as you can see here, there's many transportation. There's buses vary. There's a lot of bus routes over here. You can see by these blue signs. Another picture. Many fares were increased, which puts a lot of pressure and strain on people who have money issues. Okay, now on to the next is the food desert, which is really interesting because this is our neighborhood right here. This line, this red line, and through these railroads. This is the we do not have a food desert, surprisingly. Surprising to me because there are only 2 grocery stores that West Englewood has. Actually, we have, oh no, never mind, 4. I'm sorry. There are 4, but there's only 2 that are really nice. You can see right here, Happy Foods and Food for Less. This is probably the best grocery store they have. It actually has, it looks like an established place. Let's go take a view here. Take a street view. It looks like an established building. As you can see right here, it doesn't really look as much happen. It doesn't look like it's not unhealthy or a really corner store. Most of the markets that we've seen here are really corner stores. As you can see from right here, this is a corner store, BZB. See. Go, BZB's right there. Just have a supermarket. Very. It looks like a corner market. It doesn't look like they have many healthy food there, which is really surprising that this area, West Englewood, is not a food desert. Predatory lending. There's only 2 official banks here, and they're really close to each other. Chase and another kind of bank, which could lead to high chances of predatory lending with places such as Cash Now or places like that. It could lead to people, the banking or the check cashers, they charge so much interest in which you can't pay for it anymore, which causes more people to get into debt. Now crime rates. This is the crime rate map from searchingforcrime.com, or a website like that. As you can see, there's multiple. There's assault, vandalism, arrests, and many other things. Could be also rape, assault. Another one here, kind of zoomed in. Okay. Like I said, the only really important places that can really help are the hospitals here and the Planned Parenthood. Other than that, West Englewood doesn't really have any aid to the people. And some of the themes that we really incorporated for this are the document on social concern, which means the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer, and we need to show the rich people need sort of a support for the poor people. The life and dignity of a human person. Everyone has a dignity, and that we must treat each other the way we want to be treated, because each one deserves to live and deserves to thrive. Option of the poor. The society's poorest must be helped the most. It's not that they're important or anything. They are important, but the fact that they should be helped is one of the most important things that we need to do. Solidarity, coming together as a better society. Marginalization, People should be able to fully participate because they are part of the society. They live there. And being marginalized means they're not being able to be part of it just because of their status, their economic status. Subsidiarity should really be taken on a local level, and government should get involved if it fails. They should help, because this is one of the tough neighborhoods in all of Illinois and almost around around America. Survival rights, the right for people to live, be given food, healthcare, and shelter, and then tribal rights, which allows people to be who they can be when they need to be. And that's our map. Another interesting fact, there's a lot of fast foods here, which is really, on this street alone, I'm pretty sure there's a bunch more, but just on this strip of street, fast food. A couple parks for the children, schools around this area. There are a lot of more churches, but these are the bigger establishments ones that we've seen that look like actual churches. Most of the ministries here are Baptist. And that about wraps it up. And here, another public library is pretty far from West Englewood. That does about it for West Englewood. You can see it's one of the neighborhoods that has a lot of trouble. It could be really helped, and that's about it for West Englewood. Again, my name is Carlos Briones. Group members were Christopher Baca, Francis Delfino, and Ryan Rodriguez. And again, we'd like to thank you for listening to us, and have a good day.